Hello Myrmonden here, time for a She-Hulk review, right? So now we're thinking, what, we want doing Marvel stuff now? I mean, I do a little bit of Marvel stuff, right, and DC and so on. Most of which focus on Japanese manga and anime and so on, right, and some video games. But She-Hulk, of course, I would say, right, has arguably been the hottest waifu, right, in Marvel for many, many years. And, you know, I love the fourth walling, you know. I like Deadpool, before it was cool, right, and I liked She-Hulk, the comics, when of course she did this really great fourth wall jokes, kind of hinting to the reader and so on, right? And of course a massive waifu, badass sex appeal, right? That She-Hulk had, right? So we had to watch the show, of course. And it's actually the first Marvel show I think I ever reviewed. Actually, yeah, I did have a Marvel show in the past, right? We reviewed the movies and so on, and the comic books, actually more comic books. But now then we are reviewing the She-Hulk show, and it's amazing. So I mean, what more can I say, right? Like, everything in the show is awesome. First of all, they did change a little bit of the blood fusion thing, right? So that's great, because in the previous original storyline, it was that Hulk had to save Jennifer by giving him his blood, right, in a blood transfusion. Now instead, it is that she's talking about Steve Rogers never having sex, right? Which is a hilarious part, of course, of the episode. And then they hit a shehulk spaceship, I think Hulk said it was, right? And then they get the blood and so on. And the reason this is better than the original storyline is that, think about it, right? In the original storyline, Hulk, right, he actually kind of violated She-Hulk by, of course, forcing her to become She-Hulk, right? By saving her life by giving her the blood. Here instead, it was all an accident, so we kind of removed that violation part, right? Which makes, of course, this show much better. Instead of having, like, that Bruce has to take this, you know, I said, heartfelt decision making, right? An emotional impact on him, and has to save his cousin, but also cursing her to be Hulk and so on. So removing all of that, I think is amazing, right? So that clearly makes the storyline better. And then She-Hulk doesn't have any of the emotional struggle that Hulk has, right? It's just She-Hulk immediately. No issues, no, you know, need of a character development ever. And this is exactly how it is in the comics. She's just, you know, better than Hulk, right, in everything, which is awesome. Especially like the scenes where, I say it, Hulk, right, or more than Bruce Banner, Hulk, smart Hulk, is trying to teach her, you know, lessons from his 10 years of training or whatever, 15 years of training of being Hulk, and Jennifer is just better immediately, which I think is awesome, right? Like, who needs like a character development arc, or who needs to control your rage or whatever. And also for that matter, right, the reason Hulk has more issues than She-Hulk has is because he was tormented and bullied and so on, right, by his father. That's why you have different kind of Hulk, right? Some aspect the Hulk mental standpoint. She never had it in comics either, so it actually is more in tune with the comics. What more can you say, right? I like that the scene when she, you know, immediately when she becomes the Hulk, she goes to this bar, right? And then this bastard hits on her, right? This toxic man hits on her. She, of course, rages out on them. Great scene, really funny, classic scene, right? I like how the other girls went in there. I guess they assumed that she was like a victim of domestic abuse or something. And they were like, we're gonna make you pretty girl and so on. Yeah, so that was a great scene. That was clearly very feministic. The training scene with Hulk and so on. I mean, it's the one thing I really like in this show, right? Except all the great comedy and so on, is how they removed all the sex appeal from She-Hulk. Yeah, I love that. I mean, they could have basically just gotten like a well-trained woman, right? And I said it, you know, last month and so on too. They could literally like have just hired like a bodybuilding woman, right? Paint her green, and that would have looked better than the CGI. But instead, they went for CGI. So I think that's great. No, but seriously, right? The CGI was improved from the trailer, so that was awesome. And that she has no abs, right? She's always like fully dressed in that sense. I mean, yeah, she kind of shows the arms on, right? But they're never focusing on like showing she has abs. You see next to me here. I love that they haven't at all, you know, captured that bit, right? And I've seen in all the trailers I've seen, they haven't never shown her abs in any of the trailers. So I really do like that they completely removed the sexiest part of She-Hulk, her big abs. Yeah, it's not about the boobs, guys. It's not about the ass. I'm a abs guy, right? You know, because girls gonna have big boobs, they're gonna have big ass. But again, having big abs, that's the best thing. So that they completely covered that up in every scene, I was very, very satisfied with that. I think that was really awesome how they It's like, yeah, we're never gonna show her with a full shirt on her or so on, right? That was really great. I also love, of course, that she immediately was better than Hulk in everything, right? You know, flexibility, control, throwing the rock. The thunderclap still was interesting because it kind of like it was portrayed as she was better than Hulk in thunderclapping, but it also was more like he did one big thunderclap and then he was kind of like, you know, I don't want to hurt her, and she got angry, and she did like 10 thunderclaps. So you could argue that they were kind of equally strong or whatever. So that's fighting. And I think it's really good, and it reminds me a lot of, you know, Star Wars 7. So for me, that is that, you know how, what's the name now again? It's PTSD from Star Wars 7, yeah. What's her name? Mary Rey, yeah. Mary Rey, right, yeah. The Mary Rey that she has just learned, so spoiler warning, whatever, right, you see the movie. Mary Rey has just mastered, or something matter, she's just became a Jedi Knight, right? Or basically, she just understood that she has Jedi powers, and she has no training, and nothing at all, right? And she fights Kylo Ren, that's been trained by Luke Skywalker, right? Or she, whatever this stuff and so on, but they were Snook and so on. This guy's like 10 plus years of Jedi or Sith training, right? Or vice versa, or both, or whatever, right? All this training, constantly using his powers and so on, right? And Mary Rey just got the powers, and she beats him in that forest scene. That I think is one of the best Star Wars scenes ever, right? How a person that is acquired the powers can immediately beat this man that's been training with the powers for at least a decade, right? I think that made perfect sense. And we see the exact same thing here in She-Hulk, that, you know, they had this fight, right? She-Hulk and the Hulk, and they're basically equally strong, right? Which, again, makes perfect sense, because when a woman becomes a She-Hulk, she obviously is gonna master being the Hulk immediately. I guess you could argue the Hulk was like holding back or something, and he was a Rulk or whatever, it would be different. Or the, what's the name again? Rulk? Red She-Hulk? She's hot though, yeah. Red She-Hulk is physically hotter than She-Hulk. I will admit that, yeah. I think the red abs makes it better, right? But anyway, I digress. We probably never... Actually, I think it would be interesting if we had Rulk or something, or Red She-Hulk in the shows, for a side note. Maybe they're gonna come later, right? At least Abomination, given the trailer, is gonna be the big baddie, but... Or she's gonna help with him or something. So, yeah. And for that matter, let's go to that then. So in the end, right, Titania appears, right? It's a classic female bad girl in Marvel. I remember the first time I read Marvel, I guess Secret Wars was the time when I kind of saw Titania, which is one of the bad guys going to this alien planet fighting and so on. And she's always been this kind of, I don't know, F-lister female fighter, right? She's married to Absorbing Man, right? I still think so in the comics. So maybe her husband's gonna appear or whatever. But anyway, I like Titania, instead of looking like, similar to She-Hulk, right? Because Titania is also supposed to be this, like, very muscular, very attractive woman, right? You know, big abs, big boobs, everything, you know, kind of classic, kind of Rob Liefeld, you know, like, a little bit, right? You know, honestly. So I like that they removed it. I like that they made it shorter. I wanted to call her, like, fat, like, chubby instead. Yeah, they kind of removed a bit that. She basically showed no muscles. Her outfit was not really revealing. She had no muscles. So Titania is supposed to be kind of like, you know, like She-Hulk, right? Obviously, she gets more muscular. But, so that was awesome, that you kind of used, like, unsexified Titania completely, yeah. Titania went from, like, a 9 out of 10 muscular, cool, or kind of, you know, it is a wrestling-based, yeah, like, female muscular wrestler character into, like, I don't know, like a little chubby wrestling character. Clearly way better, so that was awesome. I love to see when she beat her up, right, and then she was like, okay, now I'm ready for being an attorney, right? Yeah, like, now I'm ready to do my final whatever. Yeah, so that was cool. I mentioned earlier, right, that She-Hulk is famous for her fourth walling, so they had that in the show as well, and I think those jokes landed, right? You know, she's fighting with Hulk. After they had this fight, they have arguing, and she shot the camera, and it's like, that's right, he's lying to us. He doesn't actually believe that. That was hilarious. And she's talking to the audience in the beginning, right, introducing to us what is happening. That also really worked. And then, of course, all the jokes, right, that she has her friend, that you hate all the men around them. It's just beautiful writing, man. What can I more say? I think it's a 10 out of 10 show. Probably the best Marvel show, and I really love how they really un-waifu'd her, right? Yeah, how they removed everything that made her a waifu. That's awesome, man. And like how she complaining that Captain America has better sex something. That's great. Like kind of shaming, you know, Cap. That's awesome. Yeah, like my favorite character in Marvel. So gonna shame him, right? Yeah, oh, that was really good. But just generally speaking, right? Just having a 30-minute show of a woman just being better in every regard than her male counterpart. That's great storytelling. It really is. And what I mentioned earlier, yeah, the CGI was better, right? Yeah, CGI was better, and I mean, again, they could have just hired like a bodybuilder woman. Like I go to the gym every day, right? Except on Mondays, it's my leg day, so then I run out on Mondays. But I mean, I could basically find like, a random woman at the gym, right? Throw like green paint at her, and she's gonna look sexier than She-Hulk in the CGI. But it's awesome. But no, but the thing is that they could have done that, but instead they went for we want to have the same actress, right, doing that, and they make her boobs bigger and ass bigger and everything else. So it really works, right? They just grow her up, right? So you can play the same character or something. And I mean, have you seen the old Lou Ferrigno show? That was ridiculous, right? When they had one actor play Bruce Banner and Lou Ferrigno playing the Hulk, that was really stupid. Using the CGI instead, that is genius, right? Because then you don't have to different actresses. You can have the same actors doing it, and everything is just way better with that kind of high quality CGI. Right? And I hope you guys liked the review. Press the like button, press the subscribe button, right? If you want to see more She-Hulk waifu reviews. I personally really felt that it captured that She-Hulk sex appeal, definitely. That's probably again what I'm most happy with. That they didn't have a single scene with her abs. Yeah, that's probably by far the best part. Anyways, you guys, and have a great day.